Hello, everybody. I'm going to get started because I know a lot of you, thank you for taking the time to be here. And I am going to try to run through this as quickly as possible because I know your time is valuable. So if you need to log off, that's fine. If you have any questions, you can just use the little chat bar and I'll try to get to them. Or just unmute yourself and speak up. You can interrupt me. I don't care. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to get started here. Just hold on. I'm going to share screen.
Kelly.
Yes.
Kelly, sorry to interrupt. This is Bridget.
Hey, Bridget.
I've
how
never
are
done
you?
one of these, so I didn't. Good. How are you?
I'm good. Okay. Well, Bridget, I actually have some PowerPoint slides, so you will miss this, but that's okay. I've recorded this, and a lot of what I'm kind of going over now is stuff we've talked about too. I just may go a little more in depth, and it's more of just a broad overview of everything. So, yeah. Okay.
Okay,
So,
great.
new coach training. Welcome. We're going to kind of go over a lot of stuff, and it's probably going to be overwhelming. And I want you to realize that that's totally normal. But the more you do it, the more it's going to make sense, and you're really not going to have to think about it. But it may seem like a lot of information, but really this business is simple. It's not complicated. It just really takes consistency. So what we're going to talk about tonight is really your 4 goals when it comes to building your business. And the first one is getting your product paid for. I mean, that's my ultimate goal. Is I don't want you to have out-of-pocket expenses, is that's what you came into this business for. The second is earning success starters, which if you hit Success Club 3 months in a row, and we'll talk about that in a minute, then you get a free ticket to Summit, which is our annual Beachbody conference, which is a lot of fun. It's in Nashville. Great training, great way to meet other coaches on your team, and it's a lot of fun. Number 3 is achieving Emerald rank, and this is going to be your first rank. That's going to help start building that residual income and give you allow you the ability to tap into that team cycle bonus, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And then the last is just gaining confidence as a coach, because that really does fuel the first 3. And confidence, as you'll see, it takes time to build. Some people, it takes a lot longer than others, but really that stems from doing the 3 vital behaviors, which we'll also talk, and Power Hour consistently, because the more you do it, the less scary it is. So, Success Club. What is Success Club? Success Club is basically a point system Beachbody came up with as a way to measure the progress of your business. That's all it is. But what it really is having the goal, having the mindset of every month going into that month trying to help 3 new people each month. When you help 3 new people and get them in a challenge group and really start coaching them towards their health and fitness goals, if you're able to do that with 3 new people each month, that means that you are doing the necessary tasks that are going to grow your business. So, how do you reach Success Club? Well, when a challenger or a potential challenger signs up for a challenge pack. So our challenge packs are basically a pack of, probably most of you have signed up using one, that really gives you everything you need to get started. So it gives you your 30 days of Shakeology, it gives you your program, your fitness program, and it also gives you access to On Demand, which is the online streaming, which is awesome, I use it exclusively now. It's like, who uses DVDs anymore, which is weird. To go from that to, yeah, anyways, I was like, use my old laptop. Now I don't even have a computer that has a DVD disc thing anymore. Anyway, so it gives you all of that. It also allows you to have free coach sign up, which saves you $40, which is a good deal. Plus it gives you super discounted shipping. And it's all super discounted. Even as a coach, getting all of those things at my discount, I can't get it that cheap. So it's a good deal, and it really sets everybody up for success. So when you have a customer sign up for a challenge pack, either as a customer or as a coach, that gives you 2 points. Now, you can also get 1 point for either a customer or a coach that signs up just for Shakeology on Home Direct. So if you're helping 3 people each month, so by getting them set up with a challenge pack, that's 6 points right there, and that will get you Success Club 5. If you help 5 people a month, that will get you Success Club 10, and when you get Success Club 10, that allows you to, Beachbody will send you, when you are Emerald rank and you hit Success Club 10, then Beachbody will send you paying Shakeology customers. So any customer who orders Shakeology off the website or an infomercial, they will distribute those to coaches across the network, and you will make the commission off of that purchase straight away. So that's $30 right there. It kind of depends how many you get a month. It's usually between 1 and 2, maybe 3 if you're lucky. So that's, could potentially be $100 a month. Beachbody basically gives you. Not only that, making the commission off of each of those challenge packs is anywhere between $30 and $70. So that on top, it can really add up. Now, when you hit Success Club 5 and our Emerald rank, then Beachbody sends you customer leads. Now, these are any customers who buy a product off an infomercial or through the website, or just sign up for the free Beachbody Club membership. Beachbody will distribute those out to their Emerald and above coaches as well. Now, you don't make a commission off what they initially bought, but those customers are yours for life. So whatever they buy after that is you make the commission off of. And you usually get 2 to 3 of those a month. So that really adds up over time. So I've been a coach for 5 years, and I probably have over 800 customers Beachbody has sent me. So it really adds up over time. Now, some of those customers buy stuff, some of them don't. So it's kind of up to you to really reach out to them and just start to build the relationship with them. But I've met some amazing people through Beachbody. A few of my coaches are customers Beachbody sent me. So it's definitely, it's a great thing, and not a lot of companies do this, but Beachbody does a good job of rewarding its customer or its coaches. So I make sure Success Club 5 is my number 1 goal every single month. It is what I focus on first and foremost. I want to make sure that I'm helping and serving 3 new people each month, because when I'm doing that, then I know that I am on track to keep my business growing, and that is my goal. So Success Club helps build that residual income. Like I said, those Shakeology customers start to add up over time. Imagine if that's kind of compounded monthly. If you're hitting Success Club, you've got those paying customers, and then you keep adding on to them, how much that income can start adding up. We also get, Beachbody does monthly prizes. What it is kind of depends on the promotion for the month. Sometimes it's a bobblehead, sometimes it's a program, sometimes it's cruise, trip money for trips they do. Sometimes it's a shirt. It all depends. But it also allows you, Beachbody does trips every year, and you can actually pay your way by hitting Success Club on these trips. So you can essentially get a trip for free. So it's a good thing, and it's something that is a good goal to focus on every month. Okay, so let's see. I already talked about how to hit Success Club. Okay, so hitting Emerald and beyond. Emerald rank should be your first goal when it comes to rank advancement. And Success Club, I think, is an important goal, and finding challengers is an important goal. But I think if you are in this to build a long-term legitimate business, then you really need to think about building your team, because that is where you will start to get that residual income. So what that means is, yes, we get a commission, but we also get a team cycle bonus. So I make, to give you an idea, I make a super small percentage of my weekly and monthly income through commissions. Like, I don't know, it's maybe like 1%. I don't know. I'm not a huge salesperson. I'm just not. So, some coaches will hit like Success Club 50. I am not that. I'm a Success Club 5, but a lot of my income now has come from building my team of coaches, my fit family. And I want you to think of this more as allowing people to come along on this journey with you and share in that vision that you have created, where you want this business to go. Because these are going to be the people that you're going to be working closely with and that are going to help you get there. So you want to make sure that you all have, you're all on the same page and you're all working towards the same goal. Plus, it's just a lot more fun that way. My coaches have become my family, and I want that for you too. I want you to enjoy waking up every morning and working with these people. I mean, how many times do you get the opportunity to handpick the people you work with? And this is one of those things. It really becomes a camaraderie and a family. So I really want you to think of it that way, and be selective on who you want to come with you. So what is Emerald? How do you reach Emerald rank? Well, it's basically you plus 2 personally sponsored active coaches, one on the left and one on the right. Now, I strongly, strongly encourage you to make your spouse one of those active coaches. I know in the beginning you may think, I don't want to do it, like that's just more money we have to put into it. And I was right there with you for a long time, but I want you to see, I really want you to focus on the future and your 1, 3, 5-year plan from now, because I want you to be around that long, because, this isn't a get rich quick business. It takes time to build, because we are a relationship building business. We are not just selling something and never talking to these people again. It's really, I like to think of it as a lifelong commitment to my customers. So, and my challengers and my coaches. So I am here for the long term, because health and fitness is a long-term journey. But having your husband be one of your coaches is essentially a second business center for you. So I have my business center, which is my coaching business. And then I have my husband's. So not only do I make a paycheck every week from my business center, but I make a paycheck from my husband's business center as well. So we have 2 incomes coming in. Now, it took time. Again, it takes time to build that up. It'll probably take you a little while to wonder why we're encouraging you to do this. But trust me on that. That can really, really add up over time. The other thing too is it's a controllable. So it's a coach that you have, you essentially can control. The other thing is it can really help build your volume on your weak leg, which we will talk about later. So basically I send anybody who purchases a product or Shakeology that's not associated with a challenge pack through my husband, because not only do I still make the commission off of it, because it's all going to the same bank account, but it's also building volume. So I'm basically double dipping, so to speak. So I make the commission off of it, but I also build volume on that leg. So my team cycle bonus is going to be higher. Sorry. So How do you have an active coach? Well, an active coach is anybody who is on Shakeology or has a 50-point personal volume points or more. So Shakeology is 90 personal volume points. So anybody who's on drinking Shakeology is an active coach. Somebody who orders enough product every month to make 50 PV is an active coach. You can also become an active coach if you have enough customer volume under you. So once you've kind of been coaching for a while and you have enough customers under you ordering enough stuff, that will also make you active. I'm not exactly sure the direct amount of volume you have to have with regards to customer orders to become active. But that is another way. So now Jim's account can stay active simply by customer volume. So, but again, we'll kind of get to that when you get to that stage. But right now, I just want to go over that. But okay, so why do you want to reach Emerald? Well, the number one reason is it gives you that team cycle bonus, and that builds that residual income for you. So like I said, we get paid in two ways. We get commissions, and then we also get our team cycle bonus. Our team cycle bonus is essentially making a percentage of the volume underneath of you. So how active your coaches are, how active they are in building their business. The more active coaches you have underneath of you, the more volume you're going to have. So you want to really look to have coaches who are interested in the business side of it, and you want to make sure that you are being a mentor to them and helping them to build their business as well. The other great thing about Emerald is you get carryover volume. So again, I'm not going to really go into depth with this because it's going to be confusing to you right now, but later on it will make sense. So the other thing is eligible for customer leads. Like I said, when you hit Success Club 5 or Success Club 10, Beachbody sends you those customers. And Success Club leads, which is when you hit Success Club 10 and you get those Shakeology paying customers sent to you. This is really the first step to building your business and building your residual income that will build over time. As you reach Emerald, then I encourage you to really have the mental mindset of hitting Emerald each month. So each month that I go into, I want to essentially hit Emerald again and again and again. And if you go in with that goal, your business is going to take off. All right, next we're going to talk about the importance of your list. So what we want to do is start off with our existing contacts. So just basically brain dumping everybody you can think of. You've got to think of this as any other business, a coffee shop, a restaurant, a gym. And how would you get the word out if you didn't have any money or advertising? So that's what we are doing basically. We have a store and we need to get the word out. So the best way to go about doing this is through social media and inviting. You want to make sure you don't prejudge anyone. You never want to hold somebody's future captive in your mouth. You would be surprised at some of the people you would just, discount as like they wouldn't be interested or they wouldn't be interested in the business. Those make the best coaches or the best challengers, you will find out. For this list, this isn't necessarily people you're looking to sell to, but it's basically just people you know, just to kind of get those juices flowing. Okay, so now we're going to narrow down your list. Once you've kind of made your list, we're going to break it down. So we're going to break it down into a cold market, a warm market, a hot market, and your dream team list. So cold market lists, these are names of people that you don't really have a relationship with. You may know their name and you may know a little bit about them, but you really, you just don't have a great relationship with them. Warm market are people that you're starting to get to know. You have a little bit of a relationship with them. You know, if you ran into them on the street, you'd probably start a small conversation with them. Hot market lists, these are the people closest to you. Good friends, family, people you wouldn't mind having a cup of coffee with or inviting to your birthday party, whatever. These are people that are closest to you. And then your dream team list. This is the list of potential coaches that you want to work with, that you would love to have on your team, that you would love to build a business with. You know, those people that you think would share the same vision as you do. All right, so next would be understanding how a challenge group system works. Now, most of you have probably been in a challenge group or in a challenge group now. And this is basically what we do as a coach. We get people set up with a program, and then we help them work through it so that they are successful with it. 70% of people start a fitness program and fail. That's where we as coaches step in. We want to make sure that we can provide every opportunity for them to be successful and that we are with them every step of the way so that they have that support, that accountability, and that motivation. My goal is to also make sure they have all the tools they need to become successful. And my ultimate goal at the end of that 30 days isn't necessarily to have some amazing weight loss story, but I just want to have people to come out of that group excited to exercise, excited to eat healthy, feeling good again, having that confidence back, getting stronger. That's what I want people to have when they come out, because I know if they have that, they have a solid foundation and they'll keep that going. And that's really where the lifestyle change comes into effect. And that's what I really want to help create in people. So that's why I run these monthly challenge groups. Now, we do 3 different ones. There are free challenges, and this is a great way for new coaches to kind of just get their feet wet. And it allows you to kind of showcase what you can offer people without them actually having to commit to anything. So the best way to do this is with like a 5-day challenge where we just kind of provide a meal plan for 5 days, and you just kind of put them in a private Facebook group and you just check in on them every day and give little tips along the way to help them stay on track. A lot of people do like plank challenges or squat challenges or ab challenges, whatever. I mean, you can do whatever the heck you want. Sometimes just doing a online Bible study, online, book club. Those are also great ways to kind of just get people building relationships with people in a very easy breezy kind of way. The next is a paid 5, 7, or 10-day challenge. And these are great because it allows people to try Shakeology without committing to a 30-day supply of it. So basically what we do is we supply them with a 5, 7, or 10-day supply of Shakeology, flavor of their choice, and give them a meal plan that goes with it, and put them in a private Facebook group, just like we do with our 30 days, and coach them through it. Now, a lot of times this gets people, they decide that they really like Shakeology and they want to continue on with it, or it shows them, they start to feel better, they start to get on track with their nutrition again, it gives them that encouragement, they have that success with it, and they want to keep going. And those are people who you'll eventually have in your 30-day challenge because they're ready to make the next step. Now, the last is 30-day challenges. Some coaches run 60, 90-day challenge. I think it's easier for people to commit mentally to a 30-day challenge. And then I'll have them roll over to my next challenge, and they're in a challenge group for 6 months. But these 30-day challenges are just a great way to have a bunch of people all together, all working towards the same goals, encouraging, motivating, to keep going and to push through, because a lot of times people will be really excited about a new workout or staying on track with their eating for a week or two, and then just, life happens and they lose that excitement and that motivation, and it's gone and they just don't want to do it anymore. that's where these groups really come into play, because we're there to tell them, yeah, I know it sucks. I've been there, but I know your goals are important. I know exactly what your goals are. And I want to make sure that you meet them. So you need to suck it up and you need to get back on track, because I am here to make sure that you do that and you're worth it. And a lot of times that's all people need, because how many times do people go to the gym? Nobody cares if you show up to the gym or not, especially the gym. They're probably hoping you don't show up because that's just easy money for them. But we make sure that they show up. And if they've fallen off the wagon, I'm going to make sure that I'm checking in on them and knowing that I'm there to support them and remind them of why they started this in the first place. And a lot of times that's all people need. They just need somebody who cares. And that's what we are to them. Don't feel like you have to be this fitness and nutrition expert, because that's not what it is. A lot of what we do is just showing that showing that we're doing it too, and we're doing it when we don't feel like it, and we're eating healthy when all we want to do is like rip into a bag of chocolate chips, and that we're just like them, and we all have the same struggles. So after that, we've made our list. We know what a challenge group is about. Now, how do we build relationships from your list? What we do is something called forming. Basically, this is just having basic conversation with people. But I think a lot of times when you're a new coach, you just get really scared. You don't remember how to talk to people. And this is just an analogy to kind of dumb it down and make us stop, think, and focus on the person we are talking to. So forming basically stands for family, occupation, recreation, and message. So we are not going to just talk business all the time. No, we are in the relationship business. We build relationships with people. We have relationships with our challengers. We become friends. We become close. So we need to make sure that we know that person, we know their goals, we know about their life so that we can best help them. So the first thing is asking people about their family and how we can relate to that. We can all relate to someone on some level, and this is basically finding what that is. Because when you find things that you have in common, that's when you start to build that trust, and your relationship can kind of take that next step. So family's always a great one, especially as moms. If you met a person that also have kids, you instantly have something in common with them. The next is occupation. So what do they do for a job? Do they like their job? Do they travel? Do they work full-time? Do they work part-time? What is it that they like about their job? What is it that they don't like about that job? Listening to them and their needs gives you the opportunity to meet those needs later on. Recreation. What do people like to do for fun? We all have stuff we enjoy. Is it biking? Is it hiking? Is it running? Is it reading? Is it crafting? Whatever it is, take the time to find out what people like to do, because again, that's a great way to find something in common with. And I think that's one of the best ways to build a close relationship with somebody, is if you have something that you enjoy doing together. I know in our challenge group now, we've got a couple people who have horses, and instantly, I'm a big horse person, instantly I have a good relationship with those people because we have that in common. And we were sharing pictures of our horses, and, boom, right there, you already have that connection. So it can be a really powerful thing. And the last thing is message. After listening to these people's story, their wants, their needs, their joys in life, then it's time to deliver that message. And that's where we actually send out the invite, after we kind of know what their wants and needs are and trying to find a solution to that. So when we're doing this, how do we use social media? I do 99% of my business through social media, through Facebook alone. So a lot of how I do that is simply by sharing my story. So posting consistently on Facebook, and not just fitness or business related posts. I want people to see kind of a snapshot of my life. So they're going to see fitness, they're going to see horses, they're going to see kids, they're going to see things I enjoy doing, they're going to see my family. I want it to be well-rounded because I don't want people to come to my page and all they see is ads, because they're going to be turned off by that. They're going to be annoyed by it, and they're going to think all you're out there to do is to sell them. And I do not want that. I want to simply share my journey. By sharing your journey with people, the ups and downs, how you're incorporating fitness and nutrition into your life, how you're just a normal person who they can relate to on some level, that's going to build that trust with your audience. And when you go to send those invites and reach out to people, they're going to be a lot more accepting of it because they already kind of have an idea of who you are and what you do. So it's not going to be like, call it like a sucker punch, when you get those cold invite, those mass invites from people. And they just sound like you're just really a number to them. I don't want that. I want each one of my invites to be genuine, and I want them to feel like they know me already. And by doing that consistently on social media, it's an easy way to do it. The other way where you can start reaching out to people in kind of an indirect way is simply liking or commenting on people's posts and just building relationships that way. That's what I do a lot of the time. Is if I see a post that I can relate to, I'm going to comment on it. If I see somebody post asking advice or something that I feel confident giving advice on, I'm going to share that with them. Another great way is simply, if you haven't talked to somebody in a long time, just message them and see how they're doing. Don't bring up the business, but just simply ask how they are. The other thing I like to do is, if there's people who have kind of started a fitness journey and not with me or Beachbody, or just kind of made the commitment to go to the gym, I'm going to send them a message and say, hey, like, that's awesome you started going to the gym. Like, I want you to know, like, that's a huge first step for people. And, I want you to know that your goals are worth it. It's going to be hard sometimes, but I know you can do it. Just send an uplifting message to somebody. Birthday, like messaging somebody happy birthday when it's their birthday instead of just posting it on their wall, is a lot more personal that way. The other thing I like to do is, if I see somebody that's struggling on Facebook, that's having a hard time, I'm going to send them a message and let them know, like, hey, I see you're dealing with this. I just want you to know I'm thinking about you. It's really looking at going onto Facebook and looking for ways to serve your audience. How can you uplift them today? And just doing that consistently. And you'll be surprised kind of how your mindset starts to change, where you wake up every day thinking, how can I serve? How can I add value to people? So next is inviting with confidence. First thing you have to realize is you're not a salesman. This business is not about sales. If you go into it with that mentality, you will fail miserably. People will run the other way. You'll lose your friends. And that's what we don't want, because that's not what we do. Like I said, this is not like we're selling something to somebody real quick and we're running out the door. No, we are in this with them. I think the small commission we make for what we do isn't enough for the time and effort that we put in to each person, each customer that we have. So really slow down and ask questions. That's the number one thing, is really find out about that person, find out what their needs are, find out what their struggles are, and really come up with the solution. So when do I know it's the right time to invite somebody? After you've kind of taken the time to get to know them, get to know what their struggles are, what their goals are. Maybe you found out that they hate their job and they want to stay home with their kids. This is a great opportunity to tell them about coaching and how it's impacted your life. You know, maybe they're mentioned that they're wanting to lose that last 10 pounds, or they started going to the gym. There's always a little opening. And that is the time that you want to send out that invite. You know, hey, have you ever considered joining a challenge group? Or have you ever considered coaching? Once you do that, don't just let it hang. You have to really remember that the key is in the follow-up. So a lot of times when you go to send out an invite, it'll either get ignored. You know, some people will say, yes, you know, tell me more. Some people will give you a flat out no. But you have to make sure that you follow up with every single person you invite, because if you don't follow up, it tells that person that they are simply a number, that they don't matter. Because how many times have you gotten invites from people for various products and they've never contacted you again? It happens all the time. I can't tell you how many times like people have followed up with me, because it's like non-existent. People don't do it. But you got to make sure that you follow up. I usually do it 2 to 3 days after I send the message or send the invite. And I'm just going to do it in a nonchalant way, you know. And if you have that fear that you're bothering people, say that when you follow up with them, you know, express your fear with them, because that makes you real. So like an example follow-up I send somebody is like, hey, their name, I don't know if you saw my message or not, but I wanted to follow up with you and see if I can help you in any way, or if you had a chance to think about, you know, joining my group. Simple as that. A lot of times people don't get back to you or respond to your messages because they simply forgot. How many times have you been like grocery shopping or at a red light and you kind of check your messages real quick? You read it, but you don't have time to respond to it. It happens to me all the time, like I'm the worst at it. And then I just simply forget to write back. That happens to probably the majority of your messages. So you have to realize that. And sorry, lost my train of thought there. Most of your yeses are going to be because of follow-ups. You're very rarely going to send out an invite and have somebody come back and say, yes, I want to do it. It doesn't happen very often. It always comes up with the follow-up. So make sure you do that. That is just as important as sending out those invites. So next, let's talk about how are we going to go about doing all of this. And that's where the importance of your power hour or power half hour, really as a new coach, comes into play. So what is a power hour? It's basically your business hours. It's the time you've scheduled into your day, into your week, that you are going to sit down and focus on the business only. It doesn't have to take a lot of time. I am not working 8 hours a day. No, this business, I work around my life, not vice versa. So we're doing this for a reason, to give us freedom. So don't let it overtake you. And you have to realize you don't have to be doing this all day to be successful. I have built my business by doing it little by little in those mom cracks of my day. So you can do that too. But you have to make sure that you are consistent with the time you put into it, and that you are focused when you do it. So power hour to-do list. Now I attached the link for a power hour checklist in our event page, and I have it posted a couple times in our green room group. So it's there for you. If you need it, let me know. But basically it's just a checklist of what the activities that I do every single day. This business is simple. It's not complicated, but it just takes consistency. There's nothing like glamorous thing that we do that just like propels our business. It's simply like doing the little tasks that seem minuscule and in the beginning may feel like they are not accomplishing anything, that get you to where you want to be in this business. So those tasks are adding 2 people to your friends list every single day. So basically going out and meeting people. The other thing is adding value to 2 people. This is where forming, this is where, how can we serve these people? Is it by sending them an encouraging message? Is it by liking their post? Is it by commenting, giving them advice on something that's been helpful to you? How can you really serve people? The next is inviting 2 people to a challenge group or to the coaching opportunity. For me, I like to kind of do it all at once because it's just, I still have the fear of inviting. It's not as bad, but it's easier for me if I can just do a bunch all at one time, and I do it at the beginning of the month. And then I will do a few here and there, but I like to get it done at one time. But doing 2 a day is just an easy thing to kind of check off your list, and it may be easier for you to kind of overcome your fear that way by doing it in baby steps. After you invite 2 people, I want you to follow up with 2 past invites that you sent out, or just follow up on the relationship with people. If you messaged and had a conversation with somebody about something non-business related, just simply send them a message to ask how they're doing or to how their trip was or whatever. Next is to send 2 voice messages to uplift a challenger or one of your coaches. And this is a great way to kind of empower people, and everybody loves to hear encouraging words, especially in a voice message. I think that's super personal, especially kind of in the time we are now where the majority of our conversations are through text. So actually hearing somebody's voice, I think makes that extra effort. And it means that, you truly care about them. Okay, next is check on 2 of your challengers if you have any. Just send them a message to ask how they're doing, to encourage them if they've been struggling. Really simple. Maybe asking just how their day was or how you can help them. Next is to check on your team page or a training group you're in or your back office. I encourage you to do this daily, especially on our team page, because Jamie and I are always sharing helpful information, little things to think about, motivational videos, things that have helped us and that we have found helpful. I'm always trying to share stuff with my coaches that I think will help them overcome something or give them ideas. So it's a great way, if you're in training, spend a few minutes in there going over stuff so that you can better yourself each day. Something I like to do is I always go on YouTube and kind of look up other coaches and see how they explain something or see how they're doing something, because I'm always looking for ways that I can improve myself as well. Next is check in with your challenge group. If you're in a challenge group, make sure you check in. Make sure you post a picture of you getting your workout in, or share a recipe, or simply comment on a couple people's posts to show that you care and that you acknowledge what they're doing. People are working hard in these groups, and people love to get comments on their pictures. It's encouraging to them. It makes them want to show up every day. So make sure you take the time to do that. And then last is post 2 to 3 times on social media. One of those posts should be business related, so about the workout you did, maybe a healthy recipe you had, something about your family, something about a trip, maybe something about a new vacuum you just bought, something that you think people would like to see or that would benefit somebody. All right, so a lot of this stuff, especially as a new coach, should only take like 30 minutes. If you did that every single day, 5 days a week, imagine the compound effect. Now I want you to realize, like, doing this in the beginning, you're going to feel like you're not getting anywhere. You're going to feel like it's not working. But I want you to know to keep doing it through the crickets, keep posting through the crickets. It usually takes, I was just on a call with corporate, and they said on average it takes people about 2 months to really start to get that momentum going. So think of it that way. Just go into it with the mindset like, I'm not going to get anywhere for 2 months, but I'm still going to do it. You've got to think of it kind of as your health and fitness journey. Doing one workout isn't going to give you a six-pack. Eating one healthy meal isn't going to make you drop 50 pounds. It's doing this, those little, tasks every single day. Even when you feel like you step on the scale and you just like you haven't dropped any weight and you just feel like you're not getting anywhere, eventually it's going to add up. The same with this business. So keep pushing through even if you feel like you're not getting anywhere. The only way to fail at this business is if you quit. But I guarantee you, if you are consistent with your Power Half Hour and these tasks, you will grow. I guarantee it. It's what I do every single day. It's what Jamie does every single day. It's what the top 10 coaches do every single day. There is no secret. There is no magic potion. They don't do anything better than anybody else. They simply just do these same tasks every single day. That's all it is. All right. I'm going to talk a little bit about social media because this is like a whole other topic. I train on this all the time and it's still something that I'm always trying to improve on. But I want you guys to just have the basics of it. So use whatever social platform you do best. Are you Facebook? Are you Instagram? Are you Twitter? What is it that you do best? I only know Facebook, so I'm going to do Facebook, although my husband is really trying to push me into Instagram. Like you don't even know anything about it. I'll get to it when I get to it. But if Instagram's your platform, that's where you have the most, that's your love, then do Instagram. I want you to focus on keeping your page a positive place. If you're a type of person who, likes to have just go off on people or have rants or, very political, try to keep that to a minimum, if not at all. You want to be a positive place for people to land. There's so much negativity, and especially now with politics, you want to stay away from it because that's going to offend a majority of your audience. You have to think about that. So you want to kind of play it neutral. If you have strong opinions on something, try to keep it to yourself. It's not for Facebook to see. And people definitely don't like to hear you complaining because I guarantee you're going to offend somebody because somebody has done that. I think one of the big things to think about is I had parking. People like to complain about people's parking all the time. And I always kind of am offended by that. While I'm a good parker, 98% of the time, there are times that I have parked over the line. But some people go off on this. And I'm like, well, that's kind of attacking me. Even though I'm not that person, people get offended by that. And it's kind of a turnoff. So keep those things to yourself. Instead, try to have a positive spin on things. So what should you post? Simply you, your life. Don't post salesy posts. Do not post corporate ads, pictures, 21-day fixes on sale. Don't post anything like that. People don't want to see it. You're going to instantly lose your audience and your trust with your audience. So don't ever do that. Don't ever post links, anything like that. People are not on Facebook to be sold to. They are on Facebook for fun. And, the way that we want to share our business and what we do as coaches is basically how we incorporate it into our life, because people are going to start to see that. They're going to start to see the results we're getting. They're going to start to see how we're able to do it all, and they're going to relate to that, and they're going to want to be a part of that. They're going to start asking questions, and that's what we want. So how many times a day should I post? If you're new to social media, if you're not much of a poster, I encourage you to, for like 2 weeks, just post one time a day and don't post anything about the business. Just post simply things you like, your family, whatever recreation type thing you're into, maybe something you're passionate about. Post about that and kind of tell a story with it. Don't just post a picture of you and your kids and said like went for a walk. Like nobody cares about that. Really kind of paint a picture for people, write a little story. Think of each post as a blog post. If you went to a blog and it just had pictures on it, or just like thumbs up, like no one's going to care about that. It's going to be the worst blog ever. The same kind of goes with Facebook. Make it an engaging post and share a little bit about yourself. You don't have to go in depth, but just kind of share in a way that people can relate to you. Because again, that's going to build that trust with people, and you want people to start coming back and always wondering like, what are you doing? I'm curious, like, what is Adrienne doing? She always seems to be having fun with crafts. So, whatever. So keep your posts engaging. As you start to do that, then let's start to go to 2-3 times a day. And then we're going to start adding those fitness or nutrition related posts in there 2 to 3 times a week so that people are starting to see it. And those posts should be about you working out or you drinking your Shakeology, or how you're incorporating healthy eating into your life. Again, paint the picture, show people how you're doing it. Because the more you're doing that, the more people are going to see it, and the more they're going to start to kind of ask you questions about it. So, lastly is like versus personal page. I don't know. I'm kind of torn on this. Some coaches do really well with like pages. Some people do really well with personal pages. I've tried both. I really like my personal page. It's my home away from home. I feel like I have a good connection with my audience from there, and I'm just comfortable there. Like pages give you the opportunity to run ads and to kind of reach more of an audience than kind of your network of friends. So that's kind of nice, but I really think that's more for coaches who have been around for a while and kind of branch out that way. So I encourage you to kind of stay on a personal page right now, just because, especially as you're starting to learn the ins and outs of social media, it's the easiest. And trying to go to a like page when you're just trying to figure out what to post in the first place, I think can be overwhelming and frustrating. And plus, Facebook changed a lot of things, so it's harder for people to see your like page without paying for it. So focus on your personal page for now. So a few things about posts that are interesting to others. So remember that it isn't about you. Every time you post, that should be on your mind. Really think about when you're writing those posts, picture the exact person you're speaking to. So to me, it helps when I write my post, if I'm thinking about if I sat down to coffee with somebody, what would I tell them about? What would we talk about, and how would I explain it? That's how I'm going to post it. So if something, the kids did something funny, how would I explain it to them? That's exactly how I'm going to type my post. What are people, you have to kind of think of your niche and your market as well. So what are people struggling with? So as a mom and a military wife, that's kind of my niche. So what am I struggling with is probably what other people are struggling with too. Where are they at in their life? How can you add value to this person? Chances are this person looks a lot like you or was you in the past. So really thinking about how you can reach that person, or something that would, if you're struggling with something right now and you've been able to overcome it, sharing that with people because someone can relate to it. So what do people love? People love pictures. Pictures that relate to them, or so that they can get to know you better. Remember that people are loyal to people, not products. So that's why it's important to show you doing the workout, because that's going to be more meaningful to them than just a picture of Autumn in her skimpy outfit doing the 21-day fix. Like, that's just not going to speak to people. But you being a mom, getting your workout done with your toddler, like, that's going to relate to a lot of people. So you have to remember, they must feel like they know you. So having pictures of your actual face or you in the picture is so important too, because a lot of times people don't see you every day face to face. Facebook allows that to happen. So imagine, the next time you're on Facebook tonight, look through those pictures. The majority of times, when you see a post with somebody's picture, doesn't it feel like they're kind of talking to you personally? And I think it's a lot more personal that way when people can start to see your face, because then you feel like you're really starting to get to know that person without actually having met them. So it kind of, think of it this way. So like people in your challenge groups, you're seeing the same people every day and you're seeing their faces. I've never met these people in my life, but I feel like I have a stronger connection with them because I see their face. So think of your selfies and having you in the picture as something as powerful as that. Don't just think of it as like a vanity thing, because I hate taking selfies. I do. But I want my audience to be able to connect with me, and having them able to see my face is a way for them to get to know me. So the other thing people love is inspirational texts or quotes in pictures. And if you share, a lot of people share great quotes. When you share something, don't simply just share the quote. Write a little bit about it and how it relates to you, or why you love that quote, or how that quote is meaningful to you. Again, engage your audience. Black background with white letters of a quote or thought, that really stands out to people. Encouraging posts. I always try to have one encouraging post a day about something that's significant in my life. And right now I'm trying to, marriage is a big thing. And I know there's a lot of people struggling in their marriages. And I was kind of at that point. So right now I'm focusing on how can I build encouragement with my audience when it comes to marriage, because sometimes people just need a little bit of encouragement in their life. The other thing people love to see is famous people's quotes on a pic, or your relatable thoughts around it to kind of lift up stories, positive stories. People love that. Funny videos. There's always funny videos about parenting things. People love that. So the other thing is inspirational videos with your thoughts in the post. Don't make them long videos, but short, because people don't have time to sit down and watch a 10-minute video on Facebook. So, and the last thing is people love to hear you edify your spouse and your children, or to give advice on that. So many times we see people just beating down their spouse, or complaining about their spouse, or complaining about their kids. It's nice sometimes to just see a post about a mom who's happy, or a mom who, loves their spouse, or has something encouraging to say about them. So make sure you do that. The other thing is people love to give advice about things, and you will be surprised. And this is something that blows me away every time I do it. I don't do it often, but people love to give advice about outfits. So if you have nothing, you cannot think of a single thing to post about, go in your closet and put 2 outfits on and ask people their opinions. You'll be surprised. This is something I struggle with, because I hate, I'm not a fashion person, not at all. But I've done it a handful of times, and the engagement is off the charts. You'll have people commenting on that thing within seconds, and pretty soon you'll have 60 comments on it, simply on what dress should I wear to this banquet tonight. So, or what shoes should I wear with this outfit, or what headband or what vacuum should I get? People love to give advice. If you have toddlers, ask about potty training. That's another big thing. People love to give advice on that. Where you should go on your next vacation. Movies you should watch. Restaurants you should go to. Genre of food. You you name it, people will have an opinion on it. So if all else fails, if you can't think of a single thing to post about, ask for advice, because people love to give it. And if you're a parent, ask for parenting advice, because people love to give that too. So last but not least, time to get inviting. If you aren't inviting, you don't have a business. Bottom line, you have to reach out to people. Adrienne here had such a great way of looking at this, because we all don't want to be that person. We don't want to be that salesperson. We don't want to be selling to our friends. But that's not what this is about. Health and fitness is very, very personal to people. We are not just selling nail polish. We are really selling a livelihood. And a lot of people, this is a struggle with them. They have insecurities with it. They have self-doubt. They failed. A lot of people have failed many, many times, and they just don't feel like they can be successful with this. So a lot of times people aren't going to come to you asking for help. But what they want to have happen is to have somebody reach out to them. And Adrienne had a great way of looking at this. She was sitting in church, and the pastor, at the end of church service, usually pastor asks if anybody needs prayer or, whatever that may be. And they ask them to stand up, or they ask them to raise their hand, or if they're hurting, or if they're dealing with something in their life, to raise their hand so that, they can pray for them. That's exactly what we're doing. We are reaching out to those people and seeing who needs help. Because I will tell you, the majority of my challengers and my coaches have been people I've reached out to. And every time I've reached out to them, it's kind of at the perfect timing in their life. They were just looking for somebody to help them, because they don't know how to help themselves. They don't know what to do. And again, it's very personal. So really think of it that way, and going into each invite as a way, how can you serve this person? And not necessarily how can I serve this person in their health and fitness, but in another way too. Probably right now, I feel like the majority of the people I'm reaching out to, we're talking about something other than health and fitness. We're talking about military life. We're talking about marriage. We're talking about some other struggle they're having in their life. But health and fitness always comes up, and they always want to be a part of it. Because usually when you're struggling in one aspect of your life, you're struggling in another aspect as well. So be there for that person. Let's see. Again, lost my train of thought. So look at your list, and really look closely at that list, and kind of write down where you feel that the needs are for that person. Especially if it's your hot market, you're going to know these people really well, and you're going to kind of know their needs already. So don't be afraid to reach out to them. Who do you have a strong enough relationship with right now, and you know their needs, so you can genuinely invite them to do this, and could add value in their life? Write their names down and construct the initial invite to them. If you need help with that, don't be afraid to ask. We have lots of resources as well to help you with that, to give you an idea. And if you're unsure, send your invites to Jamie or I, or post it in the group, and we'd be more than happy to help you with that, because over time you'll start to build confidence with this. But I think in the beginning it can be kind of hard. So having somebody there to kind of critique it beforehand and kind of say oh, I like how that sounds, or ooh, that sounds kind of salesy. So I wouldn't say that. I would kind of rephrase it. Because a lot of times it's simply just tweaking a few little things that will really spark people's interests or can turn people off. So we want to make sure that we kind of go about it in the right way, and that the message comes off sounding and being genuine. So does anybody have any questions? Yes, Adrian, voice messages. If you don't know about voice messages, you have to download Facebook Messenger to your phone. But when you do that and you go to type a message to somebody, at the bottom, it'll have like a little bracket for numbers, a little picture of a camera, and then one of those pictures is of a microphone. If you simply click that and hold down the red button, you have a minute of talking you can do. And this is not only a great way to like answer messages quickly if people have questions and stuff, but it's a great way to send a quick message, and it doesn't take, like, you're not spending 10 minutes typing that message. So I love to do this, checking in on my challengers and coaches, because I can do it fast, and I can kind of do it in those little mom cracks of my day. Like if I'm waiting in line at the grocery store, I could send a couple messages real quick. So just an easy way to get more done in less amount of time. Anybody else have anything? Nothing? Okay. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask and come to us, because that's what we're here for. There are no stupid questions. Do not ever be afraid that you have like 8 million questions, because you're going to have a ton of questions. You're going to have a lot of things that don't make sense in the beginning, but that's where we are here to help guide you through that, and to either tell you like, oh, you don't need to worry about that right now, or like, you know, whatever. The other thing I want you guys to be aware of is, you know, when you do start to sign up coaches, placement is a big thing, and it's very, very, very confusing. But there is a better way to do it. So if you ever come to that, when you come to that point, when you start to sign coaches, please let your upline know, because we can help walk you through that and how to best place coaches for long-term benefits. Because again, that's going to be something that's confusing right now, but as you go on, it will start to make sense. But I want to make sure that you guys are set up for success in the best way possible now, because I have made a lot of mistakes when it comes to placement. I don't know, Jamie, have you? Where I wish somebody was like, put this coach here, put this coach there. Because you're like, I don't understand why I'm putting them there. Like, you don't need to understand that right now, but later on it will make sense. So yeah, don't be afraid to ask about that either. So, okay, if that's it, I don't want to keep you guys any longer. Thank you so much for showing up, and I hope this is helpful. And again, if you guys have any questions at all, do not hesitate to ask. All right, guys, take care.